realize how much is left in the queue. Goddamn. That is unfortunate because I just didn't know. Will I get through all of it? Maybe. We'll see. Too early to tell. I'll do what I can. I think we can probably do it. Probably. I haven't made any beats in a minute. Well, I was making something in Ableton. I can't play my Ableton beats while I'm streaming because that's what I do my fucking vocal mixing with. Been out the game. I gotta get back on it. But yeah. Big ass queue. Gotta do something. Of course, we heard no more parties in LA. It sounded like Kanye could use a little bit more practice on like recording this shit, a couple more takes. There's like a few more, because part of it was like super polished, and then parts of it were like take 3. Would have been better if you had done more. Hey, what up, Rag? What up, Dannon? Yeah, Kevin, his cadence is like, rhythms were weird as hell for a lot of it. Sometimes he would like sink into it and it would be dope, and then other times he would not quite nail it. Because there were a couple times where he was like nailing that sort of syncopated off beat shit, and then he really wasn't for a lot of the time. And I don't know why. Yeah, the mixing was god awful. I don't know why. Yeah, Dannon, I still haven't got to the bottom of it. It sort of drifts in and out of sync, but it generally stays in sync. There's nothing to do about it. The track was intended to be grimy, you say? Yeah, but I mean, Kendrick's verse was like mixed well, and then Kanye's was like 8 dB louder. It was weird as hell. But he did rap for like 4 minutes, which was nice, so. Let's kick this bitch off. 46. Ugh. I don't know about 46. We'll see. But yeah, let's jump into this shit. Let's get it going. First up, we got D's Nuts. He hasn't submitted in a while. Shout out to him, I guess. Let's see what he got. Straight to car commercial territory. Or credits of like supernatural territory. It's got some cool sounds. I like these sort of weird, they almost sound like accidental sounds. Like field recordings gone wrong. What up, Chaxi? Acura commercial for sure. Definitely, Danny. Coldplay finna go in on this beat, says Matt. I think the drums are a little overprocessed and buried in the mix. They don't really cut through like they could. It's a little samey. Like, it sounds just like a drum loop, and it sounds like an overcompressed drum loop, a sort of pre-processed drum loop that would be in some stock library in any and all DAWs. So if you work to get that sound, that's one thing, but at the same time, it's not really a very good sound. Not a very good sound, I should say. I like the sort of vibes overall, but the feel was a little boring. You know, it was a little Acura commercial-esque instead of nice. Not like it was bad, but it just didn't have a lot of like. It had like some forward momentum, but it wasn't like super groovy or original. So, sounds were pretty solid overall. Like, it had a cool atmosphere, but I think the groove could have been a little more interesting, in my opinion. All right, next up we got Troag, Troag, Elefino. See what he's got. Constro, you calling out Illmind on Twitter when he was like talking shit about The Revenant? Because I saw that tweet of his and I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? He was like, man, the acting was good, visuals were great, but the actual movie was terrible. I was like, dog, that doesn't even make sense. And then he like really didn't explain himself. So, not that I ever trusted Illmind's movie taste, but I definitely won't now. These drums are a little too easy drummer, drum kit from hell type sounding. The guitars and shit could have a cool vibe. Sort of like some Bad Bad Not Good shit if the drums were super grimy, but they're not. And I wish that they were. I think it'd fit a lot better if there was some grimy shit. Because it seriously, it sounds like just not good. It sounds like you were recording some indie band's drums, or like just any drum library VST, and no good. But that was who knows what the hell his name is. Yeah, the drums. I liked everything but the drums. So get some like dirty ass drums on there. That might be cool. And have a better groove. That groove was real weak. But next up we got JC Rock, aka Mad Lemur. Oh, Jesus Christ. JC. Apparently apostrophes. Oh, that's right. I encode apostrophes. I need to fix that. This is JC Rock, aka I'm Back. This is his beat called Automated Break. So I guess he took a break and automated the volume, it sounds like. Is there more to it than this? Okay, there's a little bit of hi-hat more to this. That's not a ton. That's not much. Why did we get the metronome for 4 clicks? Alright, this got not a good feel to it. Yeah, okay, so the idea of like chopping that drum break the way you did with the automation and mutes and stuff is kind of cool. Like Nujabes did the hell out of that on that one track. And then it didn't go anywhere, it didn't anything, and then the like weird 8-bit part you did wasn't that great. It was just super slow. Didn't have a good feeling. It was cool. You took it in such a different direction. It had that like goofy ass Rick Rubin sound, which is hard to use well. And I really don't understand why I did the metronome thing. So, not a fan of the metronome thing. That was JC Rock. Jesus Christ Rock, our Lord and Savior. Shout out to His Holiness. But next up we got Captain. It's been a minute, Captain. Uh-oh. Update. There we go. All right. And I get a 403. Captain, where you at? Not only did you upload the longest URL in history, it don't work. So, hit me with a new link. Email it to me or something. You will have, I see you're in the chat, so just hit me with a good link sometime soon. Alright, next up, we got Mad Tizza. Mad Tizza the King. Uh-oh, it says this has lyrics. Oh, wait, no, here, hold on. The art says, shout out to Sanders. Listen entirely for the full effect. Oh, no, my browser didn't show up right. Rap the lyrics if you dare. So, okay. I guess. Oh my god, this is long. I probably won't. Let's hear it. It's called Switching Channels. The sample's kind of cool. The drum break I could use more of. Yeah, Captain, just send me the link on Twitter. And there's a little timing mismatch between the drums and the shit. Oh, we get a little mix-up here. What are these lyrics? Where did these come from? I'll rap them though. Here we go. Alright. Beyond the eyes that imagine, fragile with passion, to lead a nation full of discrimination and bastards, battle with intention, being the hip-hop's father, look no farther, image of fame in my state is closer. I'm not gonna rap this anymore. But once upon a time in Shaolin, there was no bullet shells you can borrow as I entered the Wu-Tang. 36 chamber show with demo cuts, 8 diet grams unless a bullet holes. And through the swarms of killer bees, an iron flag appeared with the symbol of the W. Damn, what a tale you're weaving. Alright, we need more drums. We need different ass drums than this. Juicebox says, is looping the same drum loop on a sample considered making a beat? You know, I definitely see what you're saying with that. And I think the drums you could do a lot more with. Yeah, I don't know who wrote these lyrics or where they came from, but not as entertaining as I would have hoped. But, yeah, you need to switch up the drums, chop up the drum break, and make sure it actually fits. There's some weird rhythmic offness in this. So, send it to the Beat Breakdown website. Oh, to my email there. Alright, that's fine. I haven't got it yet. I'll be on the lookout for it. Oh, there we go. Another long ass link. Why are you doing this to me? Send me a bit.ly. Send me anything else. About to have to DM myself. Where's Pushbillet? Do I have that installed? Yes, I do. Okay. All right, Captain. We're almost on you. I'll get back to you. Yeah, you need some more interesting drums, Mad Tizza. So try and switch that up. And make sure the rhythms are always tight. All right, next up we got Z, a.k.a. 3 liters. It's called Regressing Towards the Mean. What drum break is that? Very familiar. Drums took a real turn for the worse. Can I see these? Yeah, what does that mean? Of course I can see them. Yeah, I had forgot about Push Bullet because I've uninstalled the extension for some reason, but thanks for the reminder. And the drums are all over the place. And the sliding bass is a little all over the place. This is the Shure SM7B microphone. Yeah, Matt Workman got it. All right. The bass on that, some of the notes were right, and then a lot of it wasn't because it was sliding and pitch bending all over the place. So try not to do that. I don't know why you switched up. Oh shit! I'm not trying to go to your profile. I don't know why you switched up the style so many times. It's kind of a cool sample. I wasn't a huge fan of any of the drums, or any of the siren sound effect. I wasn't huge on, but just pick one of those and stick with it. Like, it's kind of cool to switch it up, but then when it's all over the place like that, I just can't get anything from it. All right. Next up, we're going back to Captain real quick.
They don't even want to hear no more, nigga.
It's called Hill Figure. This is Captain.
You don't want to make that guap, nigga. That's all they gotta understand. It's the hood, nigga.
What is it with me and Golden Corral?
Nigga.
Golden Corral is a funny restaurant to me. I'd say that sums it up. Oh shit! I didn't realize that's what that was. Whoops.
They don't even want to hear no more, nigga. They understand you don't want to make
Sorry,
that
Captain.
guap, nigga. That's all they gotta understand. It's the hood, nigga. It's make guap or die, nigga.
Make guap or die. Kind of cool so far. Let's hear it. Dirty Rag says weak drums. Where's the backbeat? Where's the main snare? It seems like it's muted almost. Bass is a little boxy, the 808. Yeah, where's that main snare though? Like a big ass snare on that downbeat. And we're missing it. Yeah, you said it's a little repetitive. You'll want to mix it up some more. The bass is a little too boxy. I think you'll need to add some more melody and shit. Because I'm not sure if that sample can really carry it, and I don't think the bass line can either, since it's more complementary than anything else. But I would say you definitely want a big clap or snare or something on the 2 and 4, because you've got that build up at the snare roll up to it, and it's to nothing. So I think you'll want to switch that up and find that heavy backbeat and stick with it. All right, that was Captain. Shout out to Captain. All right, next up we got K-Twist. Let's see what K-Twist got for us this week. Hey, K-Twist, I emailed you a while back. I don't think you ever got back to me. I like that it didn't go where I was expecting. Okay. I like that little high thing on the ooh. I think you could add a little more. Let's see if you come through with a little bit more. Young Danon says, chill, but the sample could use some filtering and some reverb. I could agree with that. You could jazz it up a little bit. Been gone for the longest. Ooh, there's a sample switch up. Fix that gap on that second hit. We'll hear it again, probably. Right there, yeah, you can fix that. All right, dope. I was hoping you got it at least. Quote, you submit at the website beatbreakdown.net. On Wednesday, it'll open up. I like the sample, though. I think you could do some more, though. I think I would hit the switch up sooner if you're doing it just as a beat. When I hit the harmony. Concert doesn't like the hat. That was nice. Definitely a great start. I think you could build it out some more for sure. Real good energy, though. Real good vibes. That B section with the harmony on the sample is nice. I would switch to that a little sooner, but very nice overall. Just fill things out a little bit more. A little more melody, some more pads, more something. Because it is a little sparse, as Constable said. I agree with that. But that was K-Twist. Shout out to K-Twist. Next up, we got Limes. The track's called Where Is Love? Little dated sounding so far. I like that switch between the vocal and the piano. It's about to happen. That's cool. I think the drums are a little too vintage sounding, like someone overdid it. It's like Gold Baby, but Gold Baby twice. Constro was right about that. Shout out to Constro with the tribute. He says, rest in beats MLK, one of the best to ever bless the boards. That's true. Montgomery was like, he had the studio in Montgomery. He was on the SP 1200, killing it. MLK actually started as a DJ before he became a producer. He's one of the first people to like cut breaks together. And then he was cutting breaks together, and he's like, hold on, let me invent this shit and call it the SP 1200. So he invented that. Then he's like, let me get my shit on. And so he did that. And now we got a holiday. Shout out to MLK for that. And then his son, MLK Jr., like I was talking about on Twitter earlier, invented Fruity Loops after that. Now called FL Studio. So that's just a good family to remember. Shout out to the King family for all their contributions to hip hop and production. Rest in beats, Martin. This is nice though. Like, it's a little dated sounding, but I do like what you do with that little chop. Like I said, how you sort of switched it up. I talked over your B section, so now let's hear it. Thanks, Junkie. Yeah, this B section's nice. I talked over it before. But I think the drums, you could spruce up a little bit. Alright, yeah, so the chops are all pretty solid. Maybe it's a little slow. And the groove was a little basic, and the drums didn't sound stellar. They weren't bad, but they were just a little too, like I said, like vintage, like over-processed to get that vintage sound. So I think maybe you could get just more of an interesting groove going on. I think they were a little too quantized and then swung. I think if you had some more live feel in it, it could work a little better. So maybe take those sort of Nujabes piano chops, and do some like Dilla type drums and bass on it maybe, and combine those two together and see where that gets you, because it was a little too rigid for me as it was. But nice sample selection, and not bad overall. So shout out to that. All right, next up we got De Niro. The track's called Rule. Sounds very familiar. I think you could EQ the sample a little better. Get rid of some of those high mids on that guitar. Like a hair reverb or something. It's a little too clean. It's got a solid groove though on this. Real simple groove. So I don't know how I feel about the sort of key change with the pitch shift. The drums could be louder overall, I agree, Young Dannon. But the groove is nice. I like that overall. Just simple one. With a kick on the 1 and 3 and snare 2 and 4. Brian G, no, I will not, because the queue is not open right now. I got too many to get to. But if you submit it Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., you can get in that line. Yeah, the mix on this is the big problem. The drums are a little too buried. The sample, you could EQ a little bit to get it to sit better. I'm doing fucking karate over here. But I like the groove a lot. So just the mix needs some work for sure. And then a little more bass probably. But the groove I'm a big fan of. We just need more of the drums. We need less of that main guitar. Maybe throw a little bit of reverb on it. You could filter out some of the stuff. And it was probably, what was that, like, I don't know, 900 to 1200 hertz. You could do a little duck on those and take some of that out, find it in there, and I think you'd be good. We just need a little more drums, a little less of that guitar. That was De Niro. Shout out to De Niro. Juicebox asks, do I have a set of guidelines I listen out for when determining my critique? I mean, I listen to make sure the drums are sitting good, that things aren't clipping, that there's no like melodic conflict between a sample and a bass line, or a synth and a bass line, or chords and a sample, all that sort of shit. Those are the main things. Then it's like feel and just overall like vibe. So if I was going to describe it, I would describe those things. All these drums I don't like already at all. The sample's kind of nice. Yeah, I really don't like the drums at all. See, like, good job filtering and shit. Is that dust from a real vinyl, or is that like some sample pack? Because I think fake vinyl dust is like the lamest shit you can ever do, generally speaking. Yeah, sample's nice, filter's nice, drums are total ass. If the sample wasn't halfway decent, you definitely would have got one of these. But that was just a hypothetical instead of a real ass. So, scrap those drums entirely, delete every last bit of that, and start with something that fits the sample better instead of the weird farty like dance kick and then a really weird snare with a ton of room tone. Just start with like a drum break. So that's what I say to that. All right, next up is Underdog, the Underdog Chronicles. Shout out to cartoon characters who make beats. That's tight. This track's called Solitary Confinement. Description says, Sanders, if you read this, say shout out to fam. He the realist. Go check out his SoundCloud. He isn't that good, but sometimes he'll drop something that isn't ass. All right, well. This is overwhelming. Sanders a demon. Uh-oh, this is dramatic as hell. The mix is a little overwhelming. The sample that's droning, the synths, you can't hear any of the drum sounds. Not that we necessarily want to, because they're kind of ass. Although we're getting a hell of a lot of this hi-hat right here on the left channel. What are you doing there? Why are you doing that? This is loud as hell. Not a fan. And it's in like a meter of 3. Why do I keep fucking doing this? It's in a, not necessarily triplets, but like 6/8 or something, where it's like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's weird. It's a little too fast for that. Too much phaser, way too much hi-hat, not enough drums out of the rest of the shit. Yeah, the sample's overwhelming everything except the hi-hat, which is all the way in the left channel. Don't pan your shit like that. That's insane. That's clinically insane and 100% wrong and very annoying. Please don't do that. Yeah, this was too fast. I don't want to say too furious, but it was too busy, too fast for y'all. And then, you know, nothing really grabbed me in. It was just a lot happening, and I couldn't hear most of it because you had this horribly high mid-rangey shit going on. And so you got to get rid of a lot of those frequencies. They're just crowding everything and not letting anything through. So slow it down a little bit. Take it slow. Drive slow, homie. Y'all ever heard of Kanye West? All right, next up we got Pete Nice. Let's hear this. Sample's kind of nice. I don't like the drums. God, I never listened to Blood on the Dance Floor. Don't put that on me. I did listen to shit like the Dropkick Murphys, but never Blood on the Dance Floor. I don't like this drum break. Just the feel and everything I'm not big on. I saw that too. KFG, I was like, has he not seen the rest of the shit? The sample's kind of nice. Like it's a little dated, sort of. I mean, not necessarily dated, but it's not like super dope on its own. But the drums push it back into the territory of less than stellar and pretty much forgettable.
1 2 10.
Okay, we got a switch with the Home Alone sample. Shout out to that. Paul Wall fan. I know so few Paul Wall songs. I'm more of a Chameleon fan than a Paul Wall fan. This is a lot doper. I like the vibe on this a lot more, even if the sample's a little too lo-fi and the drums are a little weird sounding. Something weird going on with like doubling or something, but the snare is lost from some phase cancellation or something. So I would lay on some more snare there and I'd focus more on the second half's got a nicer feel to it for sure. First half, I don't really like the drum break. It's too stiff and it's too rigid, and it's a little too choppy for my taste. Sample's okay, but I would switch up the drums and try and mix up the feel a little bit more. Shout out to a picture that just got linked. Let's see what it is. I was worried it was gonna be like some like real vulgar shit, but it was just I didn't save it yet. It was just this picture. That's good. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that for sure. Shout out to whoever made that. I have my guesses as to who it was. All right, next up is Ja D, aka Deshiro. Let's hear this. This is a year old. Sorry, my man's. That's old as fuck. Next up, we got Indigo, aka Willie G. Let's hear what he's got. Oh, Tech v Tech. TVT, that makes sense. These panty shakers are tripping me out. Mofe, the verse itself was good, but the delivery wasn't that great. I think I recognize there's an Illmind sample in there. Or something. Yeah, like dun dun. Sounds like a wood block. It's buried under there though. The shakers are a little too up front for being I would bury them a little bit. They're a little too upfront for how off they are intentionally. And like it's a little too messy on purpose, I think. It's got a good atmosphere. I think it could be cleaned up a little bit though. The shaker's a little too much, but I like the sample. I like the little vocal cuts. But I think you're leaning a little too hard on the like offbeat shit to carry it. But the sample's nice and it's got an overall nice vibe to it. So next up we got JMKM, whatever that means. What is this? Sample's a little too quiet, but I like it. It sounds a little too lo-fi for me. Like unintentionally lo-fi. I don't know if you just bounce the low-ass quality MP3. It has a cool vibe though. This part's nice though. Captain, that's cracking me up. Robert Morris says this is bad but good at the same time. That's sort of what I'm feeling. Like it's got an overall nice feel to it, but the mixing isn't great. I don't know why it's so low quality. I can't tell if the samples are just that way or if you rendered it that way or what, but I need some more fidelity, please. But I like the overall vibe. I like the programming. I think I like the sound selection. It was hard to tell because the sample was awful quiet, but it'd be nice to know for sure. But next up, we got Turner from the Pack. Sounds like a based on a true story beat. Real generic so far. Let's hear it so far. There's that awful crowd noise. That's just the worst. Is that an Instabomb status? I don't remember. I don't think so. I think it's the hey. If he hits the haze, it's Instabomb. All these drums are kind of ass. It's just like a bunch of shit I've heard before. The best part is the synth in the background. That on the 8th note. That's a cool. Although it sounds like Interstellar. Did you steal that from Interstellar? That's the best part. I would focus on that. Fuck everything else. I would take that and like actually do some like groovy original shit around that synth line. Step your sound game up, your preset selection. Your sound design, you know, it also sounded very stock, but I like that little synth part. I would take that, get rid of this like, bro, it's like that feel is so goofy, especially with all those sounds. I think you can make something slower and more original and more creative based around that. But drum sounds weren't great. There's nothing like wrong melodically. It was just boring, and it sounded like a million things I heard before. So that's what I think about that. All right, next up we got Mofi Black, aka Mofi Bukare. Mofi B. This has a mixed volume low warning on it. Is that some Spanish guitar shit? What is that? The snare's way too quiet. I don't know why you went for this feel with this like double time feel, super goofy. Alright, these chops are kind of unnecessary. That bass, what's going on here? Why is this happening? Those two are not in the same key at all. Alright, so you got to turn up your snare, for one. But two, that feel, I don't know about that feel with this sample. It's just goofy sounding. The bass is super boomy and an annoying wrong-ass note. And the mix, the bounces are all off. We're just not getting that punch out of the snare that we could be getting and that sort of shit, on top of some wrong ass notes and just sort of boomy samples, not great samples in general. Yeah, and once you get the mix sitting right, you could look up some mastering tutorials and try and get your mix volumes up a little bit. But yeah, nothing was really cutting through there, and there was some stuff that just didn't fit, so that's what I gotta say about that. Alright, next up we got Constro. Let's hear this. From Soul Volume 1. Beat tape coming January 26th. like this faster sample. I think there could be a little bit more happening in the drums. A little bit more, but I like the sample. I like those bass hits. That like fast sample, that's nice. Nice sample shit, like nice chops. I could have done with a little bit more in the drums, but kept it simple. That was Constro. Look out for his beat tape on the 26th. All right, next up we got Smorgan 2. Let's hear this. It's called Dr. Uggs. Uh-oh, we got some roads on here. Let's see where this goes. Okay. These drums really sound like butt. Oh, this is SMM Organ 2, SM Organ 2, but the name's not showing up for some reason. These drums are over compressed. Not huge on those chords. It's a little slow. Uh-oh, we gotta switch up. I don't know about this switch up. I don't know about any of these chords, honestly. So you dropped them an octave and went to some weird grimy shit. Yeah, so whatever you made this in, I have a guess it might be Reason. Whatever you put on your combinator rack up at the top, the mastering rack, whatever preset you're using is like really squashing shit. And the EQ curve is very unforgiving. It sounds like a lot of shit I made in Reason when I would turn on the mastering and be like, oh shit. And it just, I don't know, it just makes stuff sound nasty and not clean and open, and squashes shit down and brings out a lot of nasty frequencies. So if you're using Reason, don't use whatever, I think it's like a hip hop preset or drum and bass or something. Don't use that. There's some presets that work, but usually they over process and make shit nasty. That's what happened there. Chords weren't very interesting. They weren't wrong or anything, but it was a little slow and a little just a little boring. A little boring. Emmett Fitzpatrick says, are switch ups fashionable right now? Yes, they are. Most definitely are. They're everywhere. For better or for worse. Next up, we got Z-Win. Mike G is hella overrated as far as Odd Future members go. That's forever and always. See what? Dirty Rag? No, I didn't see nothing. Where would I see that? Alright, this is super boring, and that bass is just wrong. Alright, these chords are wrong. Everything you added on top of that piano sample is not great. Jack Mason running my website, shun. That's what it is. All right, next up we got Hella Beats. Hella beats. Holla at me. J. Cole Flying Lotus type beat. I'll see about that. Oh, you hit 3,000 subscribers. Congrats. Congrats on that. Oh, I jumped way ahead by accident. Let's see what you got. Dirty Rag, I see you commented the hell on this. A lot of stuff. So the EQing of this like electric piano is a little too muddy to have these drums be so crisp. I say that because they're not that spectacular. I could see J. Cole maybe. I don't know about Flying Lotus. I don't know the part that makes this a Flying Lotus type beat. The mix is a little wonky by way of nothing's really sitting together. It's all very separated. Shout out, you got the video shit again. I guess you got a template for that probably, but yeah, so I think you filter too much out of electric piano. And then the drum sounds I'm not huge on. I see you have that hi-hat loop in the background, but it's a little too quiet. But there's a reverb on there that's not great either on the snare and stuff. And we're missing some bass. And that bass note's sort of out of tune compared to the organ. Like the samples you picked are I imagine those are samples. Or did you play the electric piano part? I don't know. But in any case, they're like you could make something work around them, but how it is now, the drums are a little too basic and they're not really sitting with the stuff very well. They're not like sitting, the sample and the drums, they all seem very separate. Separate. They seem too separate. They're not really together, like coming together in any cohesive manner. So you'll probably just want to turn up the sample some to start to fix that maybe. And then the reverb, if you're going to put reverb, you could put reverb on all of it. But it's a little bit of a high, like washy reverb, which isn't necessarily great when it's so exposed like that because there's no high end in the organ to sort of go with that. So it's just there, and it sounds super out of place. So I'll just see what you can do to get those to sit a little better together. That's hella beats. Next up we got And Rue. It's got Kate Renata in the tags, Freddie Joaquim, J-Rob. We'll see how those influences work. Whoa, what did you do to the... Oh, it feels like I'm on an airplane. What did you do to the mastering on the drums? Oh, God. This hurts me. Ugh. I don't know what you did. Turn that off. You like mid-sided them. Or you like put some crazy stereo imager out to way out here. It sounds like ass. Whatever imaging you got in there has got to go. This is freaking me. It's kind of nice. If I hit mono, maybe it'll fix it. Oh, you lose so much volume. Yeah. All that imaging creates all this phase cancellation when you mono it. Granted, it's not monoing it in the stream. It's just for my speakers. And it helps a little bit, but I lose so much. All right, that's fucked up. Turn that shit off. You can resubmit it. Yikes. It was kind of nice, but it was really, really, really hard to tell what was going on because you did some crazy processing that fucked up everything. So that's not an exaggeration for once. It was kind of nice, I think, but it was hard to tell. All right. Next up, we got little Nino. Don't listen or bump. That's what his description on SoundCloud says. It's called Shit Type Beat. Yeah, okay. Next up, we got JR Beats. That was quiet as hell. It's impossible to listen or bump to. Thanks for the impossible challenge, but the accurate title. All right, next up, JR Beats. This is JR Beats. It's called Game Time. This is some good art. I like this art. Oh no. Not that siren. Why'd you do that? I hate that siren. But I like this art. It's loud as fuck. I don't usually make drill / trap beats, but I make them for the fuck of it. Next time you hear something a little different, I should hope so. It sounded like a million other things, a million sounds we've heard a million times. In other words, I'm fucking over it. All right, next up we got Marlon King, RIP to him. Marlon King, yeah. Beat Project. Let's hear this. Can't quite tell what's happening here. I know the drums are super rigid. The drums are the worst part of this, I would say. The sample could be okay. These drums are just very robotic, and they're really bad sounds. They're just really not good at all. So, and there's a bass note that's off in there. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. Sample's kind of cool, but drums are really, really not. And that tempo is just like, there's just no vibe in that. It's just, it sounds like it was made by a robot. And that's not a good vibe to have. You want to have some energy in your shit. Just because, like, you click the beat out doesn't necessarily mean it's going to, like, feel good. So you got to find a tempo and a groove that works and like does something to someone on this planet. Our next up is Nah. Let's hear this. It's called People Like Us. That open hat sticking out a little bit. I just work with like people I know, but I'm gonna try and get some good placements this year. I just haven't really. This took a turn. This took a weird turn. Consto nailed my discount perfectly. That open hat, you're hitting it way too much. It had sort of like it's such a lame genre name, but trip hop feel for a little bit. That kind of worked. And then here, that all disappeared. The sample became overwhelming, and the drums took a different turn that I was not big on. So that is another tempo that's sort of a little goofy, and the groove didn't do too much. And you sort of lost anything you had built up but it definitely turned from a, sort of basic trip hop type beat to a real weird, not great section when it switches up and the extra drums come in. Not big on those. What else? Yeah, I mean, the sample just got a little too busy. It was better when there weren't vocals or anything. That was okay. Less is more in that scenario. It was just overwhelming. There's too much going on. So try not to do that. Try and minimize a little bit and make more out of what you're already working with instead of piling on a bunch of stuff that sort of ruins the direction it was heading. So, all right. Damn, 102 on YouTube. We cracked 100. That's crazy. All right, next up we got Noise Witch. Future Virtual Mall of America is the name of this track. Ooh, this is a fun little sample here. I'm curious to see how the drums are going to come in on this. I have my guesses, but we'll see. Uh-oh. Of all the ways I thought the drums would come in, this was not how I expected them to come in. Not at all. At least this part's a little more interesting. But it was just like, sounded like the Flight of the Conchords theme song. But this is a silly, silly groove to have. I thought I was going to go halftime and have some real aesthetic going on. But instead, this is like music they play on that taxi radio station. They don't got to pay the licensing fee. I assume that exists. If not, I'm going to invent it. Yeah, well, the groove was a little groove was a little silly, and I wasn't personally into it. The bass might have been a little bit too loud, but it was mixed okay. Like it seemed rather cohesive. I wasn't like feeling it, but I liked when you brought in the more little snare accents. That helped. So programming wise, in terms of filling out what you were aiming for, that's fine. In terms of something I would like bump in the car, not quite there. But if that's the groove you want to do, that's the groove you want to do. I think the bass was a little too loud though. And it seemed a little too flat. Like just plain sub bass stuck out a little too much in my opinion. But next up we got Chaxy Raxy. Let's hear it. Chill little jazz bump I threw together by accident. Oops. It's like when people claim they take accidental selfies. Why you gotta say that, Chaxy? Tell me why. I like the drums. I could use more bass. Nice sample for sure. Young Danon says, okay, you're gonna bomb this by accident then? I don't like how left to center. Or are they? Never mind. The drums are the drums centered? There's something on the hi-hat that's not centered, but maybe I'm just tripping. Some switches up here. Could use some more switch ups besides just filtering. Nice though, very smooth. The description didn't make much sense to me, but the drums were real nice and it had a good like bounce to it. So shout out to that. That was Chaxy Raxy, aka something. I already clicked to the next one. My bad. All right, this is City Lights, aka QG on the track. Shout out to Letters and shit, I guess. Let's hear this.
QG on the track.
Not that fucking sound. Why is that? Why have we heard that so many times tonight? What happened? That shit's old as fuck. This bass is insane. It's overtaking everything. So I can't even hear what's going on in the sample at all. Well, shout out to the flip of the theme song. This bass is this bass is ridiculous in a really, really not good way. And also that that siren sound is so stupid. Why would anyone use that shit? Yes, it was Sanford and Son. I mean, I don't really know why it went in there, but that was kind of cool. But that bass was like straight up 20 dB too loud. That was just ridiculous. Yeah, that was too much. But next up we got DJ Danny Tanner. Oh no. Constable says everything about this beat is wrong, based on the last one. The shit just slowed down. What the fuck is this? Where did this go next? There's no way this was made seriously. Oh my god. Next up we got La Fiesta Beat Exercise. Let's find out. I love bad bitches, that's my fucking problem. Yeah, I like to fuck, I got a fucking problem. This is so quiet. This is so very quiet. Turn it up. Kind of a nice sample. Oh, sorry, I gotta whisper it so quiet. It's kind of a nice sample, but the drums are super loud, and the mix is super quiet. It's a nice sample though. Super repetitive though, I agree. All right, I like the go-go whistle in there. That shit's just got to be louder overall. Couldn't hear a goddamn thing. All right. Little repetitive, though. Next up, we got ALB, a.k.a. Adrian Bryce, a.k.a. Adrian Brody. Shout out to the pianist. Shout out Sean Paul. And getting banned from Saturday Night Live. We got some R&B samples. Is he going to be original about it, or is he going to be super derivative? We'll find out in approximately 4 seconds. ASMR type beat, that was good. Later, Lord. Alright, we'll see when it comes in where you take it. That fucking hay sample, I hate that. Just in time, Adrian Bryce. All these sounds are so overused. Now the drum sounds. I swear everyone's using the same fucking zip file tonight. And these are like a particular, I don't know if it's the master or the mix. But they're a little too hyped up in the highs. Like there's something going on that isn't natural. Kind of a cool sample. I hate that hey, that little vocal. Hey, whatever high, whatever it is. I hate it. Sample's kind of cool. I especially like that like string pluck from the sample. But drums are a little basic, and especially with those sounds that are everywhere. It's not a big fan of that. There's some people who hate those sounds even more than I do, but because I can ignore them if like everything else is dope. But all that was drums and the samples, so I would hope the drums were a little more unique. I think like using the same drums on everything is lazy as fuck, and anyone who does it, like using the same synths and drums and just making like different arrangements is dumb as hell when you can make literally any sound in the world. So like when you're a guitarist in a band, of course it's gonna sound the same because all you have is a guitar. But like when you have literally anything, there's no excuse. This is FZPZ. This track's called Insane. We'll see. I like the atmosphere so far. 9 Inch Nails meets Max Payne 2 at the moment. Thanks, Adrian. Thanks for coming. Glad you came by. It's kind of nice, I think. Young Dan says the snare is too full for this beat. I would agree with that. Oh, the bass is crazy. SoundCloud core. Definitely agree with that. But it's got a nice vibe to it. Yeah, the snare could be a little crisper and less boxy. The bass is out of control. Oh shit, I never tweeted. What the fuck? Oh shit. Oh fuck. This is crazy. Whoa, god damn, what's going on here? God damn. Holy shit. This is some shit you made for real? Shazamming this shit. Just to be sure. I got burned before. I don't want to get burned again. Like it's a little overcomplicated on purpose, but damn, that was kind of cool. I think I was into it. I liked it. I think I liked the earlier part better, but it was cool with a switch to. That was a like an enormous switch up. That was a 180 degrees. That snare, a little too boxy, but everything else pretty solid, I would say. All right, next up we got Kelly. Kelly Rowland, J. Kelly.
Time to switch on. Time to make the cloud go up. Time to switch on. Time to make the cloud go up. Time to switch on. Time to make the cloud go up. Time to switch on.
Is this like some fucking house shit? Where's this going?
Time to switch on. This is not how I woke up, but
Why? Alright, next up, Sunny Toke. Are you fucking joking? Did you people collude to do this to me? Why are you doing this? Listen. Ah, god damn it. Fuck that siren. Jesus Christ. Why? Alright, this is raw Sunny, I guess. Jesus. If it happens again, the stream's over. No more siren. 96 BPM, that's too fast. The sample's goofy as hell. Chipmunk to hell and back. Alright, the groove on this is not great. It's like super goofy. And these chops are... Alright, yeah, if you slow this down 10 BPM, and then these drums are not great at all. They're too quiet for one, and then they're just goofy sounds. I think that's a stock machine kit. Some of the stock machine kits sound okay when you're playing them, but I think generally they're just too processed, and they don't have a clean enough sound for hip hop. So I used to use them all the time, but they're too meticulously designed, and that's too fast, a little too chipmunked, and the chops were a little too much. So that's what I say about that. All right. Next up, we got NY Van Gogh. Changes, arranges. We got the China Garden remix. Wednesday lunch special. Buffet only $9.99. Today they put out those sweet rolls that they fried. For $4 extra, you can get the sushi. Okay, here we go. Switched up a little bit. But the drums are weak as fuck. Shout out to Adrian Bryce commenting on this, saying, turn on the sample, you can't hear the drums at all. Accurate, very accurate. Yeah, these drums are really not good, straight up. At all. I think we got the added vinyl crackle, too. And then especially from going so quiet on the sample to so loud in the chorus. They started weak and they got weaker. And especially when it's just the break that's super weak like that. It's just boring. The vibe in the drums, the bounce was like way too rigid. And there wasn't energy. There wasn't enough to carry the shit. So, all right. Next up, we got Tony Costella, called "No Bumps." All right. I have my guesses as to what this is gonna sound like based on the album art. What's going on with these hi-hats? You invented a new note. What the fuck? What's it with people putting hi-hats over on the left? This ain't a real drum set when you're doing like 808s. Why are you doing that? the rhythms on those hi-hats straight up don't make sense. Alright, there's nothing happening here besides the drum kit and like 4 synth notes up on the top in the 808. You need more going on. And those hi-hats gotta go. Like, what is that? That's crazy. That's straight up. You just don't know what's happening. Alright. And the sounds, like the mastering, it was a little too squashed. We weren't getting anything coming through real clean. Next up, we got a Jazzy Fox, Masked Kronos, The Habit at My
That's
Home.
not the part you gotta worry about. Wow. Look at those teeth. That's the part you gotta worry about. No, he's having a dream.
Whose voice is that? It sounds very familiar.
It's a box of fire.
Trying to submit. Barton, I thought you submitted before, but beatbreakdown.net. Wednesday mornings at 10 a.m. Central, it opens up. Alright, these triplets are a little overbearing. Triplets, yeah, a little too much. Like, I usually like polyrhythm shit, but this one, there's no payoff. It's just like, yeah, there's some triplets going on. It had this kind of a cool vibe with the sample, but the drums I wasn't huge on. They were just going like, it didn't do too much for me. It just didn't have a lot of groove to it. So the triplet you could bring back at some point, but don't have it go the whole time. And the drums, you just need a little bit more shit happening, a little more bounce, a little more, a little more, I don't know. Next up, we got JL Vader. Not a good start. Let's hear it. Ahmed Muhammad type beat. That's funny. It's like the intro to a song on DDR that your cousin listens to as his alarm clock. It's gonna be like double time, real fast. I heard of Taku? I don't think so. Maybe I have. Whack ass beats. 10 a.m. Central. Alright. There's nothing happening in this, and the drums are way back there. That's like back at the attic, quiet. You gotta get those more up front. Goddamn. You need more happening and better synth sounds. Presets are meant to be a starting point, not your only option. This is Texugo. Shout out to this picture of Ray Liotta, I guess. Yeah, there's that. Okay. What is this? This is so quiet. This is like the soundtrack to that fucking game. What was that? The first game the guy who made Fable made. Populous. Uh-oh. This is like straight off the Sega Genesis. Alright. Weird. In many, many not good ways. Next up, we got Austin. That was super quiet for one, and also that's a weird thing to make 80% of your beat. Let's see where this goes. better come in with some hot shit to make up for the sample being kind of annoying. Uh-oh. It's not just Blaze. It's Must Fire, baby. This is definitely Just Blaze wannabe beat. And that organ's off beat. The drums are way too buried if you're trying to hit the Just Blaze shit. And it's a little slow, and the drums aren't filling in the gaps that need to be filled in. Yeah, Constro's right about that. You can go click. It'll take you right to where the beat was played. It's going to be off for a minute. I'll be able to sync it up once I finish because I started it late. But it's like 30 seconds behind or something. So I'll fix it in a second. All right. The drums are too buried for that to work. And then the A section of the sample and the B section of the sample don't go together at all. And it's a little slow. Like if it was faster, you could maybe work that. It's definitely trying to be Just Blaze, I'll tell you that much. But it wasn't quite working. The drums just weren't hitting like they should have, and it was a little too slow. So, and that would probably benefit from being mono instead of stereo, because there was a bunch of hard pan shit that I was not into. So get the drums bigger, speed it up a little bit, make it mono, and try and make your A and your B section fit together better, because they just don't. All right. We got to skip that one. It did not have... It was a missing track, but next up we got... it's a Clip It. This is called Hank Hill Quits the Propane Business. This is their display name. Still don't know if this is serious or not. This isn't like awful, but at the same time it really is. It's like super unoriginal, but it's nice at the same time, especially compared to a bunch of shit we just heard. Super repetitive. Definitely here with the wave, with the aesthetic. Not bad, you know, but I heard it so many times. All right. Lucky for Cisco DNL, aka Francisco Olivares. He's closing out the night. We got last one right here. Shout out, he's from Houston. Let's see what he's got for us. It's called The Night. Oh, damn, that's my first yawn of the night, and it's crazy. I made it this far, but it's from the beat. The reverse is too slow. It's not very interesting. You got some cool taikos in there, I guess, but they're weak. That's serious. There's some cool sounds happening, but It's super slow and super boring. I'll go ahead and this and this. If you missed your beat, you can go watch it on your upload page. That should be working now. Or if it's not working right this moment, it'll work once the stream ends. But it should still work. This is real slow and real boring, so I'm gonna turn it down. But that's a wrap. I finished the whole queue. I can't goddamn believe it. Shout out to everyone who stuck it out. We hit 100 for a minute, baby. That's crazy. Shout out to the number 100. Shout out to Joey Tribbiani. Shout out to Chef Boyardee. Shout out to Food Network. I'm gonna be making my TV rounds this year. I'm gonna be on Judge Joe Brown, and I got some royalty matters I gotta sue over. And you can catch me on Worst Cooks in America next season. I'm going to be a ringer. They're going to think I'm the worst cook ever. But surprise, I'm, not that bad. And then I'm going to win the contest, I guess. That's my plan for 2016. But if you're more concerned with beat critiques and trying to get in one of those, Q will open up Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central. Go submit your shit. When it hits 60, it fills up. That's it. So get there early if you can't. I'm sorry, but that's just how it goes. Check your time zone conversions if you are elsewhere around the world. Shout out to everyone who submitted. Shout out to everyone who watched. Fuck whoever invented that siren. I'm going to tell Google that the Lex Luger drum kit is my intellectual property. They're going to take it all down for once and forever, so no one can use it again. Thank God. Shout out to... I gave all my shout outs. I'm out of here, though. This was Francisco. He closed it out. A little boring. Not god-awful. Didn't make me want to bomb it. But you could speed things up a little bit. You tried to pick some original drum sounds. And you kind of did, but everything's super slow and kind of boring. So I'm out of here. I'll be back on Wednesday night for that fresh set of beats. I'm out of here though. So later.